place really does have the talent of a unicorn. No wonder Wei Wei was so obsessed with him. Her first senior brother, Taitsung Mountaintop, Tai Wuzhenjuan, was present, sitting on the side overlooking the heavenly path. The remaining 4 saints, and we were shocked by Ling Zhao's power. He rushed to 100th floor Dao Tower in one breath. A law suggested him to freeze ice fire molten. You know, Xiao Hongming stepped forward step by step, and he just reached the last floor. It's impossible. While the audience was talking about it, Tai Wuzhenjuan opened his mouth to express rather than detracting others. You better improve yourself. A young man in the 5 Veins trade fair defeated the 5 Elements proposal. His potential is beyond your imagination. Then on the high platform, raise one hand. Let's take a look together. All the people present looked around, with one hand behind him. Ling Xiao carried a jug of fine wine in the other hand, drinking as he hurried along. With each step he took, his form danced lightly, his movements resembling those of a carefree drunkard. However, his every move was in fact a cunning and intricate calculation. This man is truly terrifying. I must cultivate him well. Tai Wuzhenjuan looked excited. After hundreds of years, he finally showed a joyful smile. This child is no less than the knight. Give him the Qinlan Dharma sword. He will surely carry it forward. And next, that's the mysterious test. That even Xiao Honglin was blocked by. At this moment, Ling Xiao continued forward leisurely. He didn't expect it himself. With the help of the Wanghua department first, he unexpectedly climbed to 379th Street, only one step away from breaking the record of the beautiful master's teacher. According to the beautiful master's teacher's recollection afterwards, this ordeal was infused with the true monarch Tai Wu's grief from 1,000 years ago due to a family feud, which resulted in Master Lut's cruel death. Also pierced the soul directly and caused mental breakdown, was careless and as this sword blade invaded his soul, desperation can shake Dao hard down for the time being. Stop here. But now Ling Xiao acts as the one who takes everything. Respect the manner of the world. Respect the strongest man, a villain destined for a great role, who Ling Xiao wants. Even the way of heaven cannot stop. As a result, this sentimentality, advice for falling in love, how to deter me, the fated villain. Then Ling Xiao resolutely stepped onto the last step. The moment he stepped onto the step, a sword chi entered Ling Xiao's sea of corpses. In this spiritual secret realm resembling love and hate, Ling Xiao saw the meeting between Tai Wuzhenjuan and his lover, falling in love and the final farewell, eternally unloving, desolate outlook for him, resentment against the sky that day. Later, the affectionate man in the secular world died, taking his place, ruling over East Imperial, the Qinlan sect that dominated the cultivation world for nearly 1,000 years. Tai Wuzhenjuan, after watching all of these scenes, even Ling Xiao, who is a man of steel, can't help but be moved. Just when he gradually came to his senses, Ling Xiao is overwhelmed for a moment, but he who is the most affectionate in the immortal cultivation world could not stop it. So he turned around and asked the man a classic line. Do you need a reason to love someone? After a long silence, a relieved smile appeared at the corner of the man's mouth. He finally got the answer he wanted. Ling Xiao has just passed the trial of Tianao Street, reached the peak of Taitseng Mountain, beating his master Xiao Hongling's highest record. This is the pen saint of the 6 triumphs. Suddenly asked Great Emperor Taiwu, the last level of the Dao Street. What advice did you inscribe on it? That even Xiao Shouzuo back then could not decipher. When the elders heard this voice, their hearts all skipped a beat. They all turned toward this extraordinary young man and sighed in awe. Unexpectedly, he's not only an eminent talent. Upon hearing his words, all the elders present were shaken. It must be known that the blue sword is one of the 3 greatest inheritances from the first patriarch. The first patriarch's last words, the one holding this object, should be the most exceptional swordsmanship genius of the current generation of the Azurewood sect, with the ability to, with one's own power, start the formidable 6 paths of reincarnation intermountain formation, resisting the sect's great tribulation. Ling Xiao was in no hurry to respond, wanting first to behold for himself the dignified dharma of laws of this Azurewood Dharma sword. Think twice before you act. The audience expressed their shock. They accused Ling Xiao of being arrogant. Headmaster Shikai Wu quickly reminded Ling Xiao telepathically that Headmaster Tai Wuzhenjuan had a very high position in the sect. Not even the sect master dared to disobey his words. When the ancestors saw the true sovereign Tai Wu, not only was he not angry, but he burst out laughing happily. Who made this child Ling Xiao look just like him when he was young? Having said that, he raised his palm, coagulated in the void into a vast reaction. Now that you have a request, this old man will show you the grace of this sect's supreme Dharma sword. Next moment, the ship species near the spirit coiling abyss lurked. After continuous reversals, finally, from the first level of the ship species, he has reached the 3rd level. In the middle of the stone is an ancient and sacred aura. Sword heroes may approach. As the camera zooms in, the swordsman opens the box and finds it empty. Supreme Master Taiwu is dumbfounded. My green bow magic sword, Ling Xiao sighs. Only to see Ling Xiao hold a piercing green, carved with a powerful rune, filled with pure and holy light of an azure magic sword. Now that Ling Xiao has decided to stay and guard the sect, to resist the invasion of the devil sect, I think, have to treat Brother Jiang Yuan as your own man. I'll treat everyone temporarily as his own. Determined to be rich, we advance and retreat together, looking at the blue and green Dharma sword that has been hidden for thousands of years. Its radiance is as bright as the world. All the elders present are shocked again. Casually take out the quality guarantee of this sect. Facing the slight pressure from all the supreme elders present, he is still so calm and composed. What kind of ancient monster is that boy? This is the true Lord Taiwu speaking. He wishes to talk to Ling Xiao alone. In the midst of the evil world, did your master break into the sword core to get it, and then he gave it to you? Ling Xiao earnestly asked Lord to believe him. My master has nothing to do with this. You might not believe this, senior. One night, When the light of day broke, I saw it upon opening my eyes. This, after kissing the Excalibur, it appeared in my sub-house. After seeing this, the Taiwujinjuan didn't say anything more. You are willing to take this thing out? Can the old man still guess your use? Hesitate about it. Then ask Ling Xiao if he has ever played chess. Ling Xiao said although never, but this is the rule. In the next second, I saw Taiwujinjuan's beautiful robe shine. In an instant both of them were in the boundless starry sky. Can I understand the real meaning of your swordsmanship before I die? It depends on your fortune, and this chessboard was a suggestion from the Heavenly Sovereign. Every game piece corresponds to a wisp of essence, Heavenly Sovereign's origin, and profound and knowledgeable of the true meaning of the swordsmanship, and the intention of swordsmanship and magic power. Cultivation levels are independent and separate. The maximum one can comprehend of the real word, all carbon transcendental ways. In the original story, you should know that Yi Chen understood the truth of Tai Wu Jinjun, half of the authentic sword path. From then on, he went up to the sky, became the first young swordsman of the Oriental swordsman, the cultivation of the real world. At that time, when the beautiful master thrust the green ridge sword into him, it seemed like he was having his sword essence instilled in him. But in reality, according to Ling Xiao's current understanding of the sword, it's impossible to instill sword essence. Beautiful master only demonstrated some advanced sword techniques to Ling Xiao. Everything else was something he figured out himself. That is to say, Ling Gao's talent is slightly better than Zhu Waning's. Then Ling Xiao sat down and started playing Go against the chessboard. He had a thought and placed the black chess piece down. Ling Xiao felt as if he had some kind of epiphany. The energy around him became even more majestic. Ling Xiao exclaimed, "Wow!" He could feel that since he had become the chosen villain, his aptitude had become even more awesome. Is it possible that the Pavilion Way upgraded automatically? Flushed away the good-for-nothing system to grant a chosen villain destiny blessing. Sure enough, you're turning a new leaf. Lei Xiao, after calming his mind, he continued to fight against true monarch Taiwu. Faced with countless zombies, Madame Jin blossoms amidst the sea of corpses. He has attained enlightenment in all of Emperor Taiwu's skills. My life's divine power and my source manifest. Witnessing this, Emperor Taiwu can't help but sigh. Ling Xiao has mastered my understanding of the way of the sword in just a few lessons. The fate of this child Ling Xiao is truly domineering and terrifying, as if all in the world should yield to him. Heavenly Emperor Taiwu said while his figure drifted further away, as if floating toward a lens of the boundless universe. Heavenly Emperor Taiwu was also very grateful to Ling Xiao for helping him untangle 1,000 years of resentment. He had spent 1,000 years and couldn't see as clearly as Ling Xiao could. Love is when you do, without needing any reasons. What is there to regret? Cultivation of truth is the cultivation of one's own heart. If one deliberately suppresses emotions, one will fall into self-imposed restrictions. Ling Xiao curiously asked true monarch Taiwu about his master on the last step. How did you answer, my lord? Lord Taiwu smiled wryly. He looked at me one-on-one and said 2 words. Ling Xiao was stunned. As expected of you, Goddess Ye Xiao. And Lord Taiwu had one last question. That is, Ling Xiao had such a deep understanding of the relationship between men and women. I should have someone I like. Ling Xiao shouted out loud with a frank face. Of course I have a woman I like, and there are so many of them. Taiwu's aura has completely disappeared. Ling Xiao stared at the starry sky and swore to himself. From now on, Ling Xiao will protect the Qinlan sect, and he will never be like Zhou Yechen. He's dragging on, just to improve his gear. Next, he will take the initiative to crush Yuan Yi's villainous plot, in order to prevent anyone in Qinlan from getting hurt. The path of the righteous way begins today, compared to forging a life sword from sword seeds. What is the true origin of my sword immortal? Just then, Ling Xiao suddenly recalled that he forgot to inform the Taiwu true monarch to undo the suppression. It can't be helped. I have to do it myself. This will be a good chance to test my current swordsmanship proficiency, Dicky suggested, attacking the weakest point on the ship's border. As the Ling Xiao sword points, Tang Bo's endless Haoran sword chi completely tore the sword border open, condensed into a sword chi dragon straight into the 9 heavens. At the same time, in front of the lotus cave, the beautiful master is as happy as a girl. My Xiao passed the test. He inherited the old man's mighty sword energy. My disciple really has the appearance of a great emperor. My 3 junior sisters are also overjoyed. Cheers and jumps for joy. Unanimously call out the name, boss, forever big brother. Yi Xian'er leads 800,000 iron cavalry. Swords pointed at Qinlan Yeqing. I want to see how you're going to handle this. It turns out that Yi Xian'er had also awakened the heavenly Tao's memory long ago. In her heart, Yeqing is not worthy of leading Ling Xiao. Yi Chen at this moment was taken by old Taoist priest Yuan Yi to the Qinlan sect, one of the 3 forbidden zones, the Panlong Abyss. Yi Chen was stunned. Is that lord living in seclusion here? Yuan Yi sighed. The term, living in seclusion, is not quite accurate. He used to be the greatest cultivator in the Central Plains. He fell in love with a female warrior from the righteous sect.
She set him up and he was defeated by the 4 great righteous sects. Yi Chen felt guilty and said, he saw there were many. Shima Hall Marketplace is under the exclusive jurisdiction of Mount Tai Tsum. These individuals are top figures among top figures. Should we really just barge our way in like this? Yuan ignored him. Those in the Shima Hall Marketplace were personnel whom Yuan had recommended to the elders. The other half had also received favors of one kind or another from him. Gardner laughs and says, he's recently sensed evil chi rising from the underground of the blue and green land. There might be some changes, so he's here in the Panlong Abyss. In difficulty, Wu Ji, who is in charge of guarding this place, looks distressed. Apparently, Reverend Chanjiao has ordered that if one doesn't have the dragon hand sealed order of the sect master, no one can enter this place. His countenance was still serene. An ignorant fool like you, don't forget. Who was it that made you chief
Of the Hall of Demon Suppression, your current position, don't forget that I took you in as an apprentice myself. Finally Wu Gang gritted his teeth. Let me make way for you, Apprentice Yi Chen. Go and meet that esteemed one who anticipates your heart's response. Yi Chen inhales deeply and gazes at the apex of that pagoda. A real man can be both tough and resilient. Rather than pledge allegiance to a bald monk, it's better to submit to someone tougher. And so, he promptly kneels and avows his loyalty. Child. Yi Chen willingly accepts the blood demon as his godfather. The demon king Tianming has an evil smile on his face. The pure gold aura from the heavenly realm. This kid was right. With the strongest man on earth as my right-hand man, I, the demon king Tianming, will definitely rise again and turn this world into a bloodbath. Meanwhile, Zhongzhou Dongyu and Beijing's Junction, Queen Yixiana is leading 800,000 Beichuan iron cavalry. They are rushing to King Linzong. At this time, a general, this martial mastery tournament is over. Prince Shizhi was severely injured after his arm was cut off. At this moment, he didn't dare to look directly into the eyes of Her Majesty the Queen. He was afraid that the Queen would direct the bear's blaze of anger onto him. Unexpectedly, the Queen simply frowned slightly, curiously asking who had injured Yi Chen. Everyone looked at each other, all looking shocked. His tone of voice. He's not asking about himself at all. He's more like just curious, inquiring about a stranger. The guest replied guardedly. A demon called Ling Xiao injured the evil spirit Kaki. Ling Xiao is the first apprentice of Xiao Hongling from Shilong Peak. He is usually arrogant and does all kinds of evil. The Beijing queen was being hot-headed. She immediately pouted her rosy lips. I didn't expect that Xiao was the character in the script who had been continuously opposing Yi Chen, and that Xiao wasn't forced into a desperate situation by the bastard Yi Chen, but instead fought back fiercely and changed his own fate. Yixianer almost cried out joyfully, face framed by both hands. Emotions were hard to control. The general looked at the situation and was the first to say that he would kill Ling Xiao. He dared to harm my Shizhi. Don't let me catch you, you old man, or I will certainly skin you and break your bones. Before the words had left his mouth, a frightening flicker flew from afar, shot through the chest. The assailant was the Queen of Beijing. She deserves to die for uttering such vulgar language. Where can you heal the fastest tonight? An adjutant quickly replied. In another 2 hours. Our group will be able to reach a small town at the eastern border. The city of Fenyin doesn't belong to any secular force. The righteous and evil paths both converge here, Yixiana recalled. According to the script in her mind, this small city will be attacked by Donggongpa and will be used as a stronghold. In order to protect young Master Xiao, he plans to clear the city first. I will find a chance to adopt Ling Xiao. Then she handed a letter to the servant. Take this letter to the God's Gate of the Qinlan sect, to Ling Xiao's hand. Remember, only he can receive it. No one else should touch it. The believers could not help but sigh. Her Majesty still cares about Ling Xiao after all. Yixiana looked at the half-butterfly jade pendant in her hand. Brother Xiao, the jade pendant Xiana gave you at the beginning. Do you still keep it with you? Even if I didn't know from the script about Yi Chen's ugliness, in Xiana's heart, he is far less important than a finger. It turned out that when he was a child, he was kidnapped by Jiang Yuan. That bastard Yi Chen turned a blind eye to save his own skin. Yi Chen, I'm leading 800,000 Beichuan soldiers to Qinglai. I want to see how you're going to deal with this. Senior Brother Hai has obtained Immortal Emperor Taiwu's entire legacy. To celebrate our senior brother's great achievement, all the junior sisters greeted him with smiles. We must celebrate Ling Xiao's achievement. At this moment, Long Ho Feng has sealed Wu Dao's teeth. Jiang Yuan is holding a Bagua diamond sword, practicing swordsmanship on the cliff. Junior fellow apprentice Su Jingqing suddenly appears. Jiang Yuan already knows the intention of his junior fellow apprentice, so let him tell his master that the sword has lost its master. He won't go if he loses his love. Let's leave the opportunity to fellow apprentices. Su Jingqing's expression changed. I didn't say anything. Do you have the ability to read minds? Jiang Yuan's face became serious. Looking at Taitseng Mountains west in the sky indicates that he just saw the strength. The righteous sword Shi that soared through the sky. This shows that the brother Lin of Shilong Peak has been approved by Tai Wuzhenjun and has got the place where the kissing pestle is hidden. So why does he have to fight for it? According to the 300,000 character plot, he has already 15 days to the time when the sky-shaped blood devil breaks the seal. He must practice that move as soon as possible. And all these calamities. Su Jingqing on the side can't help but ask senior brother Jiang Yuan, why has he been so unhappy these years? The only time he really smiled was when Ling Xiao defeated Yi Chen. Jiang Yuan looked at his junior apprentice brother coldly. Promise senior brother one thing, after I'm gone. Do your best to take care of the disciples of this lineage and master. As for that Yi Chen who blocked the wind, keep your distance from him. Meanwhile, Ling Xiao, who had left the interworld, was overjoyed. It's so refreshing to feel stronger, now that he has obtained the complete inheritance of Grandmaster Taiwu. Yi Chen, the son of destiny. In his eyes, he is like a little brother, looking at so many system rewards. Ling Xiao just wanted to know, when will he be able to destroy the scum Yi Chen? The system prompted Ling Xiao that now Yi Chen's fortune is still at the highest golden color. We must find a way to squeeze and plunder his luck. When his luck value is below a certain level, they can easily kill him, and the chance Yi Chen got in Qinlan sect probably refers to the beautiful masters and sisters. And in the middle period, its Beijing queen, Yi Xian'er, and some other fairies like the great empress of Zhou. When Ling Xiao had just stepped down the stairs, the sisters rushed up and threw themselves into his arms. We'll give your fellow junior disciple a smile. Congratulations
To the first senior disciple for obtaining the inheritance of Tai Wuzhenjuan. Second senior disciple gave her a warning look. The little junior disciple then consciously stepped back to the side. Second senior disciple then expressed that she wanted to
have a good celebration for Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao readily agreed. I was getting hungry anyway. Let's go together. Soon, several people met and flew to Hongyan Pavilion. The second junior sister intends to cook herself and let her senior brother and junior sisters taste her cooking. Wen Yan, the third junior sister, immediately said that since that was the case, then senior sister should go and get busy first. I will stay here and keep the senior brother company. The second junior sister saw through his intentions at a glance. She grabbed the third junior sister's hand and asked him to help. Only the end is left. Ling Xiao and little sister feel embarrassed and stay seated. Ling Xiao starts to talk and says he didn't remember anything that night at the celebration banquet. Little sister immediately bursts out into tears when she hears the words, senior brother. Are you blaming Ying? Will you hate me because of this? What exactly happened to her first senior brother? All 5 of the Lansec's most beautiful women were gathered together. Even the first senior brother who could see the jade picture was dazzled. Ling Xiao never would have thought that this could be so dreamlike. It was simply a paradise on earth. Just then, second and third junior sisters brought over delicious food. She walked over with a smile, while Ling Xiao was flirting with his junior sister, getting handsy. The junior sister spoke to Ling Xiao with her mind, asking him to accompany her to the toilet. Ling Xiao quickly refused. Eldest brother still wants to savor the delicious food on the table. Who would have thought that the junior sister would threaten Ling Xiao? The eldest brother doesn't want the 2 sisters-in-law to know either about the matter the day of the birthday celebration of the saint. Right? Ling Xiao, what's this again? Why does this sound so familiar? Sister-in-law Ying, please calm down a little, okay? Ling Xiao gritted his teeth in despair and ultimately chose to compromise. That Ying, the ocean retail atlas you mentioned last time. Boss has found it for you. It's on the 3rd floor. Come on, boss will take you there. Looking at the 2 holding hands going upstairs, the other 2 sisters smiled, feeling very warm. Our boss is still caring and gentle as ever. The following scenes are too exciting. I just watched it myself. At this moment, junior sister proudly said, is senior brother the best for Ying? Ling Xiao pushed him aside and said that you are now like this. Senior brother, I have a responsibility. From now on, I will talk you through it. I hope today's matter ends here. From now on, no matter what you threaten me with, I cannot be lenient with you any longer. Junior sister immediately started to tear up. This is her usual routine, trying her best to explain her reasons. Why did big senior brother admit to liking second senior sister, but didn't admit to liking her? As she said that, she ran and hugged senior brother. Her tears even wet Ling Xiao's jacket. Ling Xiao, tough on the outside but soft on the inside, chose to forgive. Who can help it? That's just who she is. When Ling Xiao came downstairs with Lu Ying, they were immediately taken aback by the sight before them. On that large dining table, besides senior sister second and senior sister third, 2 peerless beauties gracefully made their way in. Never would Ling Xiao have expected his beautiful master and Martial Aunt Su to enter. It would be fine if only his master came. But why did Martial Aunt Su come as well? Martial Aunt Su gazed at Ling Xiao with a tender expression, leaving him feeling rather flustered. Xiao Hongling quickly asked them to take a seat. Lady Su came all the way here for the upcoming sword seeds trial. Ling Xiao knew very well the danger that came with being the sword seed this time. He would probably not be able to refuse. Furthermore, there were only 15 days left before Blood Fiend broke the seal, but this incident would delay him by 2 days. Let's prepare for defense against the 8 demonic sects. Seeing Ling Xiao sitting on Su's right side, Xiao Hongling immediately became anxious. Xiao with an expression of shyness. You are my handed-down disciple. Come and sit next to me. At this moment, Ling Xiao and Xiao Hongling were seated as the hosts. Catching a glance, it'd be an honor to be the head of this house. Ling Xiao was ecstatic with joy. It's like dining with 5 beautiful ladies. It's like a dream come true. This is heaven on earth. To wake himself up, Ling Xiao banged his head on the table. Don't worry, master, junior sisters. I'm just a little confused. This will help me clear my head. She then picked up her teacup and cleared her throat. About the seed trial ceremony that's coming up. Do master and uncle master have any specific instructions for us? As soon as she finished speaking, Su Mei, who was standing to the side, glanced at Lu Yinyin curiously. So she came here specifically to confess to Ling Xiao. Just now, Sister Su found something on junior sister's lips. Ling Xiao hurriedly explained that it was honey. He won the martial arts competition. An uncle master sent it by someone to congratulate him. Knowing that his little junior sister had a sweet tooth, he let her have some first. His little junior sister looked blissful. It was indeed honey that her eldest senior personally gave her. Su Mei thought about it. He had been reading all kinds of classic books since he was a child, so he thought that the thing didn't taste like honey. So, he tasted some from Lu Yinin's mouth. It was really delicious honey. The other 2 or 3 junior sisters watched, and they felt 100 times more sour. As expected, the oldest brother cares about the youngest sister the most. At this time, the beautiful master suddenly got up and came to the junior martial sister's side. Then she also reached out her finger and dipped some honey from his lips. He wanted to stop her, but it was too late. This honey is a bit strange, but the overall taste is not bad. Xia Hongling coldly shoots a glance at Ling Xiao Xiao too, who is by the side. Master knows that you pity junior martial sister. However, in the future, if there are more of these feasts, they must be sent to Celestial Lady Crag first, so that master can have a taste first. Ling Xiao is numb. Are you fine doing this? Then the few of them continue to discuss the matter of the sword seed. Ling Xiao knows, the secret realm of sword seeds opens up every 8 years, and it contains numerous rare and precious treasures. But its most important function is to help sword cultivator disciples with potential forge their own celestial swords. And it was originally planned that Ling Xiao's chief disciples would lead their inner disciples into the site to forge swords. But when the sect master suddenly opened the sword seed, he set the date for tomorrow. Ling Xiao's heart quivered, so urgent. Ling Xiao learned of this from Sister Su. The 6 saints had personally stepped forward to state that every pulse needed to select its most elite inner sect disciples and send them to the sword seed as quickly as possible to establish their prime immortal swords and enhance their fighting capabilities. In fact, the memory of Heaven's Path in Su Mei's mind after the sword seed adversity, the Martial Vessels Fair and the Martial Wills Fair, 2 big events, has become extremely polished with regard to many details. Only then did she know that the Qinglan sect, because of Yichen, would wander about and thereby suffer a crushing disaster. But she does not know what this specific disaster refers to. Xiao Hongling's expression is a little sad. The seed of sword is hard and risky when lost. Although according to the school's rules, each disciple lives with his own fate after entering. But in reality, there will be more or less intersections. So he and Su Mei intend to. Ling Xiao couldn't help but shiver. How can I feel like I become Yichen? Su Mei, who was beside him, saw that Ling Xiao still didn't agree, felt a little unhappy. Do you think my disciple is not strong enough? Before Ling Xiao could make his stand, his fellow disciple standing by stood up. He then declared that tomorrow's sword seed trial would only involve him and eldest brother, and that they didn't need to work with outsiders. Ling Xiao quickly tried to smooth things over, but before he could speak, we'll meet at the dockyard gate tomorrow morning. Be sure to be with Wan Ling and work together. Ling Xiao has no choice but to promise awkwardly. Tomorrow, the head of the prestigious Jian sect will work together. Ling Xiao returns to the room, takes 3 cold showers in a row, and finally walks out slowly. But there's still a sweet smell on his body. At this moment, a knock on the door came. Could it be Huaijin? But Huaijin is still in the Xiantian ice cave. After Ling Xiao separated from Shinshi, he couldn't sense Huaijin's aura at all. Ling Xiao was shocked. Either he had cultivated some kind of secret, the secret of breath. Either the other party is at a higher level, unable to break through the other party's soul barrier. Ling Xiao gritted his teeth and came to the door. Holding Meng Zhe, he coldly asked, "Who is there?" After hearing Xiao Hongling's name, Ling Xiao quickly changed his face and opened the door. I saw the beautiful master wearing a blue dress. A pair of phoenixes watch him tenderly. What the hell? Sect leader's expression tonight is a bit off. Senior brother dearest from beginning to end. His favorite person has always been the sect leader alone, and the sect leader also always gives silently to Ling Xiao. But just when the atmosphere between the two of them was perfect, Master shyly pushed Ling Xiao away. Master, you are so cute. Just now, Xiao Honglin came to visit Ling Xiao in the middle of the night. This was the first time that he must have something going on. Xiao Hongling's face turned red but with a touch of anger. Leave my esteemed master alone. You little brat. You have the nerve to be disgusted by me? Ling Xiao had no choice but to walk over. Just then, the master beside her murmured, Did the master scold you at Hongyan Pavilion recently? Did the master scold you? Hearing that the other person was still concerned about this matter, Ling Xiao was a bit furious. The master should be strict with the disciple. Xiao Hongling also told Ling Xiao at this time, why is it necessary to make him meet Z.I? He explained that he had seen, using some sort of advanced divination, according to his plan for Ling Xiao has altered his original fate. He turned the tables on the son of heaven, Yi Chen, who was supposed to tread all over you. He turned the fate on him. This is the result of your master's achievements, but your own efforts are indispensable. A great storm surges in Ling Yao's heart. Master really foresaw the future, but Xiao Honglin still has some worries. Even with the blessing of the immortal law, he still can't see the true path of future development, so he is very afraid of Ling Xiao. It is heartbreaking to watch. What's Master afraid of? So Xiao Hongling is afraid of Ling Xiao. Just temporarily departed from the original fate orbit. Will soon repeat the same. Overturn, and Xiao Hongling added memory. Ling Xiao's destiny does not belong to him at all. Immortal sword. So he wants Ling Xiao to try to cast this sword in order to completely escape from his original fate. Ling Xiao is both distressed and moved. The seemingly indulgent and carefree master is in fact always concerned about my fate. Ling Gao's heart sank. His gaze firm, he expressed that tomorrow he will cast the immortal sword, and he will definitely succeed. I didn't fulfill my master's years of tutelage. Looking at his beloved disciple's self-assured appearance, Xiao Hongling's gloominess disappeared instantly. Ling Xiao also cast tender looks at the beautiful master's face. It looked like a good thing was about to happen, but he was pushed away by master. Didn't you say that you only liked Yurong? Even if that's the case, how dare you be disrespectful to your master? Besides, master has raised you since you were young. It's impossible between us. Ling Xiao looked at master with a smile, looking shy. Master, you're so cute. I'm so lucky to be your disciple in this light. Although Xiao Hongling was very happy to hear this, she still pretended to be calm. She didn't forget to remind Ling Xiao before leaving that he must participate in the Sword Seed secret realm tomorrow. Ling Xiao hurriedly made a request to his master. If he could draw his natal immortal sword, could he give him a reward? The beautiful master said shyly. It depends on your performance. Watching the figure of master leaving, Ling Xiao was very happy in his heart. My master is so cute. That night Ling Xiao had many dreams. Without Su Shibua, without junior sister, they only had master. The dream this time was extraordinarily pure. In the dream he was hugging the beautiful master. If you have the guts, say the 3 words. The secret realm is opening. The antagonist brother disciple and the son of destiny meet again. The biggest cheat in Yi Chang. He actually defected and joined Ling Xiao. Today is the day the sword seed opens. All the disciples of the Qinglan sect prepare to ascend. Ling Xiao was filled with mixed emotions as he sat there. That he arrived late because he had a case in Brothel Alley today. I hope you will all pardon him. Yi Fengshan's puppet, Zhang Song Taoist, was furious about this. Ling Xiao showed contempt. This guy is truly both rubbish and pretentious. In the original, this Zhang Song Taoist was a total idiot with no real skills. When Yuan Yi caused the rebellion, this guy was the first to kneel down and disgrace himself. Seeing her precious disciple being wronged, Xiao Hongling immediately stood out to get back at Ling Xiao. Just then, Yuan Yi came out to smooth things over. The protagonist today is
not me, but these young juniors have always let the disciple sell by drawing lots. Enter the cave to select the temporary post in order to forge 0 in the Tiangong on the last floor. This rule seems fair, but it has many disclosures. If the strong disciple is unlucky, they can only pick the rest. Then they propose changing the rules to building the entrance to the site. The door ring on top of the giant bronze door. Each of the 5
tribes will send their chief disciple to jump up, to remove the door ring and deliver it to the water. The one who spends the shortest time removing the door ring will have the privilege of being the first one to enter the building, to choose the best iron ore. According to the 8 settings, the iron ring on this bronze gate is forged from the iron ore of Jiui Mountain, with fine rings linked together in a line, forming a powerful prohibition that suppresses demons and evil spirits. In the plot, the iron ring is ultimately torn off by Yi Chan and Zhu Wanlin. That causes the evil sway and monstrous beasts within the seed sword to break free. The ultimate goal was to use the mutated seed sword to trap and kill all of the elite, younger generation disciples of the Qinglan sect. And then, but the male lead Yi Chen's luck is against the heavens. Not only did he crush all the way to the last level, he also picked up the second gold in his life. The truth about the patriarch's finger kiss, the great beauty from the previous season Yu Ji. Ling Zhao's heart was conflicted, whether or not to stop horticulture's plot. If it came to pass, in-gang gardening might startle the enemy. Xiao Honglin also looked grim. In his dream, he meant the mushroom spore sword embryo. It seemed there were some changes, but he did not know exact details, and Su Mei only remembered her Wanning had practiced double cultivation with Yi Chen. You'll get a big opportunity from Zibiduanchen the deep within Jianzhou. Come back safe. So Sime was the first to express her opinion that a senior disciple, Xu Wanning, go and get this spot. Duo Ba then asked Xu Wanning if she's confident. Xu Wanning looked confident. Among the young generation of Qinglan sect, in terms of movement, even Elder Jingxin is far behind me. The other heads of the peaks also expressed their agreement. In the end, representatives from each peak will face off to determine the winner. Xiao Honglin warns Ling Xiao he must do his best to secure a spot in this battle. Ling Xiao expresses his confidence. For my master and my sisters and brothers, I must win this fight. Miss Su is ridiculing morality. Your family's chief disciple is now a cripple. You might as well send the former chief to deal with this. Unexpectedly, this was a booming voice akin to claps of thunder suddenly cut through the air. The person who appeared was none other than Xiao Chen, the boy who could not be broken. Ling Xiao cried out. Good job! Elder Shi's voice suddenly came into Ling Xiao's mind. Elder Shi reminded Ling Xiao that Yeqing had abandoned himself to evil, had fallen into the devil's path and asked Ling Xiao to stop Yeqing. He finally understood that Ling Xiao is the only destined one in this world. The most important thing is to never let Yichen find that superior being from the previous generation and take him as his master. At this moment, Ling Xiao never thought Yi Chen's greatest golden finger had actually betrayed him. My senior brother really is handsome yet cold. Not only does he use a sick and unusual body technique, he easily snatched the magic suppression ring. He even specially plucked a sky heart flower for his master. And just now Night City was still clamoring. At the next second, Jian Yuan suddenly appeared and scared him into a cold sweat. After all the sect leaders agreed. First is the Phoenix Peak, despising the head of the Rock Gate Peak. Xu Wanming treads on the 7 stars and her figure streaks forward like lightning. She climbs dozens of meters into the sky between shots. Look at Xu Wanming's dainty hands waving. She seizes the heavenly demon king in an instant. All the disciples are shocked. She's truly worthy of being the Mother Superior, the most powerful genius of Qingding Xinlan sect for a century. Xu Wanning ignored the praise around her. Instead, she came to Li Xiao. The two exchanged some pleasantries. The 3 junior sisters on the side looked a little worried. Ling Xiao smiled. He said that he never fights a fight he's not sure of winning. Suddenly, a beautiful master appeared in front of Ling Xiao. In order not to put too much pressure on Ling Xiao, then stand by him and cheer him on. Do your best to make it better. You win the Wameiwi martial competition. Get Tai Wujinjuing's appreciation. You will become the leader of the younger generation. You must be able to win a small-scale contest like this. Li Xiao is naturally full of confidence. After awakening his martial vein at the Martial Vein Conference, he added all of the elite techniques to his system overnight, including a passive and a major body technique that was as impressive as the moon-gazing Saxon. With a piercing gaze, Ling Xiao took a step and shot into the sky like a thunderbolt. The whole process just happened in a really short moment. It was unbelievably fast. When the crowd still hasn't processed this, the Divine Peak Master Brother, who has recently became famous, but grabbed an iron ring with his hand from the top of the bronze door, came back all the way with sparks and lightning. All the disciples in the audience were shocked. Lin Shoshi's speed is too fast. Meanwhile, Yi Chen has a sullen look on his face. He is extremely upset. Ling Xiao has once again gotten the better of me, this time in the sword's secret book. After I find that noble from the upper realm, I must ask him to eliminate this person completely. Xiao Honglin happily runs towards Ling Xiao. He didn't think either. Ling Xiaojing has a trick that Lei could not handle. Ling Xiao did not answer his question. Instead, she gave him a pink flower. Looking at the precious flower picked by his own disciple, Xiao Hongling's little face blushed. He couldn't be happier. And as expected, Ling Xiao and Zhu Waning's calligraphy skills. Ling Xiao wins simultaneously. Luan Feng obtains priority to enter Sword Seed. Next is the Chief Su Jingqing of Dragon Guarding Storm, and the Chief of Sky Guarding Storm, Yi Chen, for the duel. Su Jingqing was about to step forward, but he was stopped by Yi Chen. Yi Chen's equipment is better. Why don't you let him do it first, and show you how it's done? When senior brother Su goes to play, it won't turn out so well for you. Su Jingqing is without aspirations. Yi Chen is simply crazy and has no limits. Seeing that his own disciple's prestige
has been damaged, Master Ziyan first found old immortal Yuan to have him restrain all of Yi Chen's words and actions. Finished speaking, then came to his beloved disciple, inquiring with Su Jingqing about this round of body technique testing. Is she confident that she can defeat Yi Chen? Although Su Jingqing is also a proud son of heaven in the sect, unfortunately, she is still inferior to Yi Chen, such a son of destiny.
Immortal Z inside decided to give this priority to enter the Sword Seed sequence. As soon as these words came out, Yi Chen and Yuani even more wildly, laughing out loud, but happy for only 2.5 seconds. Suddenly a voice came. I, Jiang Yuan, have not stepped into the world for 60 years. Do you really think I'm no one from the Dragon Guard? Looking at Jiang Yuan, who came on a flying sword, safe and sound, Ling Xiao also felt a bad taste in his heart. I took the initiative to greet you. Right after that, Jiang Yuan teleported in front of Yi Chen. His eyes were piercing. He stared intently at junior brother Yi Chen. How have you been? Yi Chen, who was still arrogant just now, was so frightened that he took several steps backward, and finally hid behind the gardening. He did not expect that the person who was on the verge of death in Kanglin City not only did not die, but was actually the legendary leader of Long Shofeng, Jiang Yuan.